Trying to sell your house in a slow market is like waiting for a text back from your sweetheart. It takes forever and you start wondering if something is seriously wrong. But don't worry, today I'm going to tell you how to sell your house faster even if the market is moving slower than a California highway. So let's go. Today in Arizona we have 25,621 homes for sale on the market, but only 8,800 are under contract. So how can you prepare your home to be one of the 8,800 and not the other 16,000 that are still waiting for a buyer? There's 5 things you can do, starting with number 1, price your house right. The market's been slow through 2023 and 2024, but at the beginning of 2024 I sold a house in just 5 days. Why? Because I had good clients who understood that the market wasn't still 2021 or 2022. They priced it for 2024. Other homes in that same area had been sitting for 60 plus days. So we sat down, we looked at what the price was. I showed them a comparative market analysis, which your agent should do for you as well, and also the market tempo. And at the time, homes were taking on average 59 days to sell. So I asked them the most important question: how much do you need to get out of this sale? And we looked at that number and we targeted a price substantially above it, but below what the market was, right in the sweet spot. Look, I get it. You think your home's worth $1 million sometimes because you installed a fancy light from Home Depot. But the truth is, setting the wrong price is like listing your age on a dating profile as between 18 and 99. Sounds like a good idea, but it's going to scare some people off. So how do we get the right price? Again, check the market. What's going on in sales around you? Number 2, check the temperature of the market. How long is it taking to sell a home the way they're priced? And number 3, keep in mind that a reasonably priced home sells. An overpriced home sits there collecting dust and awkward silence. Let me show you what's going on in the Phoenix area and why people end up lowering their prices anyway. So why not start at the right price? So let's take a look at this. To do this, I took the 28 cities around Maricopa County to take a look at the current listing summaries. Coming soon listings means that they're showing up in the MLS maybe, but they're not actively for sale. And when we look at median price, and we'll stay with median price, we see $298.47 before it's active on the MLS. So what happens when it becomes active? We see that median price drop at $20 per square foot to $278. And finally, let's look at the sold price, because even though it's active and under contract for a certain price, doesn't mean it finishes out that way. We can see in February and even lower in March, well below that $278 mark that we saw under contract and active. Moral of the story, price the home right to begin with, and you won't have to go through these price cuts in order to attract buyers. In the military, we used to say, do it the lazy way, do it right the first time. Number 2 is not photographs. A lot of people say photographs should be top of the list, but you've got to do these things first. Number 2, make buyers fall in love with your home on first sight. Think about it this way. Would you show up to a first date wearing the same clothes you use to do the gardening? No. Then don't expect buyers to fall in love with the house if it looks like a haunted mansion. Curb appeal is everything. If you have a jungle in the front yard, cut the lawn. Paint the front door into some color that you love from HGTV. Throw some flowers in a pot, put them out front, pretend like you've always been gardening. That first impression is where you want buyers to drive up, take a look at the outside, and say, I've got to see the inside. Number 3, still not pictures. Stage like a pro. Now, you don't have to hire a staging company. If you do, you can certainly negotiate with a staging company to be paid out of escrow. Some of them will want upfront payment, but you can stage the home yourself. The first thing you have to do is declutter. I don't know if you know who Marie Kondo is, but I'll leave a link down below on how to declutter a home. Remove all of your personal effects, pictures, things like that, including the adorable dog, because you want them to see those walls with their pictures on them. Make the beds like your mom's coming over to visit. Nice and tidy, everything in its place. And finally, make sure the curtains are open, or ask your agent to make sure the curtains are open during showings if you're not around, because natural light throughout the house just makes it look better. Unless you have carpet stains. Then get rid of those first. Basically, you stage your home like you live on a Pinterest board, not an episode of Hoarders. Moving on, step 4, photos. Now that you've taken care of the curb appeal and you've decluttered the inside and sort of sanitized it a little bit, now get photos. And I don't mean iPhone photos. Hire a professional photographer. I, as your agent, will hire the professional photographer. Why? Because I'm going to supervise them. I'm going to use those for print media. You think print media, why would you use print media in a digital age? Print media is something that visitors can carry away with them, tangible, they can look at and remember how great that house was. Number two, if I'm going to do an open house, I'm going to use that print media and go around to your neighbors. Why? Because they might have friends or relatives who would like to live closer to them. But most importantly, everybody who's looking for a home looks online. Where do they go? Somewhere like Realtor.com or Zillow or Redfin. And those photos from the MLS get uploaded directly to their website. So you want very best pictures to be out there on the interwebs. Again, you want those pictures to scream out, come see me, come see me. Now, in addition, for all my clients, I do a video tour and I post it right here on YouTube. And then I take that YouTube video and I put it on Facebook. And then I market it on Facebook using ads, and I hit different cities. I'll hit Chicago, Denver, Los Angeles, Seattle, San Diego, Portland. Why? Because those are feeders into Arizona. And those people who are fleeing the cold or fleeing other things, I want them to see our home first before any others. And you know how the algorithm works. If you go on Facebook and you're looking for homes, it's going to pop up an ad that shows a home, and it's going to be our home. We want to make sure that home looks good on mobile because that's where people are going to be looking. And remember, good photos get more clicks get more showings, and more showings find that one person who wants to buy your house. Number 5, last one is offer incentives to the buyers when they come in. Offer a home warranty, number 1. You're telling them, hey, don't call me about the water heater next week. I got you a home warranty. Everything's safe, everything's covered. Secondly, be flexible with the closing dates because you never know if they need to sell a home where they're at or if they have a lease that has to run out first. So be flexible with that as long as it fits your goals as well. And finally, while we can't offer direct compensation in the MLS to the buyer side, you can authorize your agent to discuss seller compensation to the buyer as part of closing costs. Incentivizes buyers to look at something that fits their wants and needs, but also is not going to bankrupt them. You're not required as a seller to offer compensation. In a slow market, these little extras can change the conversation from, well, we'll think about it, to where do I sign? So to recap, price it right, make it look amazing, stage it like a pro. Professional photos and videos tell the story, and be flexible with your buyers. Do you agree, disagree with these tips? Which ones would you use first? Leave a comment below. And if any of this information has been useful for you, like, subscribe, share this with other people you know who may be selling their home in this very slow Phoenix market. If you're still struggling to sell, don't panic. Follow these steps. Believe me, they will do a lot to boost your property in the marketplace. Since interest rates have fallen last week, we've seen a little bit more movement in the marketplace, but those people who saw that dip, who got out there and started looking, are no longer sitting on the couch binge watching Netflix. They're actually looking. We want to catch their eye, and I can help you do that.